Big Cpdm week in Boyo, Maurice Tibam have resigned and protest against corruption of his own party. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to share with you the story of courage that is emerging from the heart of Cameroon. My name is Daniel. I'm the chairman of PRAP, People's Right Advocacy Movement. We are witnessing in Boyo a story which we wanted to put out yesterday of extraordinary courage of a Cpdm bigwig, Maurice Tibam Kobe, a man who have been battling Ambazonia fighters, fighting to defend the regime, fighting opposition in Boyo. He is a member of the Cpdm ruling party. He was one of the main officials who have championed the cause of the regime in Boyo, in Kom, one of the biggest villages in the northwest. He has stepped forward to denounce what he called, in his own word, mathematical miracle fraud that has happened that he could not tolerate. He is not just any official. Here is someone who served within the regime's own structure, who was a Cpdm member, who have campaigned in thick and thin with the Cpdm, from the time of the SDF till the time of Ambazonia, fighting against the regime. Now he is coming forth with testimony, a powerful indictment of the electoral fraud we have long campaigned against, suspected, and bring proof to you. So, this is a Cpdm member representing the Cpdm in Boyo, in Kom in particular. In his resignation, Mr. Kube exposes how in Ginicom, the administrative capital of Boyo, a division of Boyo, that the official result in his village that Pobia received, the Cameroon government claimed is 2,241 votes that have been cast for Pobia in his village. But according to him, less than 130 people came to the voting booth in Kom. So, in the vote in Kom, his village, 130 people came to vote. They voted and they counted it. This is not just a minor discrepancy. It is daylight robbery of the people's vote. It is fabrication that insults both the arithmetical and conscience of the people. This is what has happened. Imagine in Ginicom, you are living in Ginicom. You people go to vote. Only 130 people came to vote. They counted the vote. Now in Bamenda, they are saying in Ginicom, that very place, over 2,000 people voted for Pobia. Now, let me take you deeper in this narrative. Please listen again. Imagine what has happened. In Kom, during election, a handful of people voted in Kom because of the Ambazonian presence there. It's very strong there in Kom. They went to vote despite everything. 130 people vote. They sat down in the evening and they counted the vote. Now, in Bamenda, where they have submitted the vote, the Cpdm people certify that vote. All the parties certify that vote. They have sent it to Bamenda. Now, when the vote arrives in Bamenda, they are now telling you that over 2,241 people in that village voted for Pobia Cpdm. It is just so ridiculous. This is not just a mistake. It is evidence of systemic scheme. Remember that the majority of people in Ginicom who voted for Cpdm. So this is the Cpdm representative in Ginicom coming out to resign and say that this one is just too much. You cannot cheat like that. So this man knows the reality of the country. He can tell you, I have told you, my own aunt, who just made an ID card and traveled to India for treatment and which she later died. She never registered. She does not even watch television because of her religion. Her name is found in the voter list in my village. I've shared the picture with you all. So this is the kind of fraud that permeates the entire system that Cpdm has been perpetrating for the past decades to stay in power. They have been stealing people's vote with impunity, with audacity that mocks the people's pride and dignity. So for a Cpdm man to resign in this manner, the implications are profound, and people should know this story. That what happened in Boyo is just a microscope of what the regime is doing right now across Cameroon. Stealing election in broad daylight, in the most brutal form, rigging process that mocks the will of the people of Cameroon. If more Cpdm officials had the courage to stand up like this man, Mr. Maurice Ntabeng, Income Bobe, if all the Cpdm people can stand up like this man, the regime will crumble under the weight of its own dishonesty. We call on people to look at this man as a hero and as an example. He didn't hold on to his government position in the party that is linked to the party. He didn't cling on to the money that comes from the Cpdm, but he has looked at the suffering of all Cameroonians and decided to say that this is not acceptable. The stealing is just too much. Cameroon would be finally free from stagnation if people in the Cpdm rise up like this man. Cameroon will be free from corruption. Cameroon will be free from misappropriation that has left our people in misery. Cameroon will be free from a government that is mute to the pain and cries of its own people. Cameroon will be free from a Tanganji poor, somebody who even reject the call for peace and cessation of hostility. This is a call for all those who are still propping up the regime of fraud to follow the example and restore the dignity of the Cameroon people. We are calling on all Cameroon Cpdm people, all the military men, all those who are in strategic position, governors, SDU, to look at this example and say, why not you? Issa Churuma, Bello Buba were all ministers of this regime. They have come out to denounce this regime and says it is not supportable. The daughter of Pobia has said that nobody should vote for her father. It is a mockery. So today, let us recognize this man as the hero of Cameroon. Let us use his bravery as a rallying cry to call the conscience of all civil servants and law enforcement officers in Cameroon. Let us use his bravery to inspire everybody who supports and Pobia relies on them. If those who sustain this regime of corruption finds the courage to do the same, change will come. And that change will be for the betterment of all Cameroonians, not just the poor and those who have been left behind, but for all Cameroonians. Given hope and a future for a people by being honest, by rejecting blatant fraud. Everybody can see on the street what is happening in Cameroon. Everybody have experienced what is happening in Cameroon. Money cannot buy the conscience again of our people. Fear cannot hold them down. Today, I want to connect the bravery we have witnessed in Boyo of this Cpdm official who have resigned to reject corruption, not to be part of it anymore. I want to connect his bravery with the heart of what we have been championing for the past years in the People's Right Advocacy Platform, what we stand for, so that you should know. We have always said that true change begins with individuals who stand up and speak the truth, who reject falsehoods and corruption in favor of human life, human dignity, and the collective interest. What we are seeing now is exactly the kind of integrity that Trap has been calling for from the regime loyalists, even from the circle of Ferdinand Gongo. Think about the love of people. Dictatorship has fallen because their most closest comrades betray them for the sake of the people. Ferdinand Gongo, even Paul Atanganji, you should look at the suffering of Cameroonians and their cry. You are human beings. This Cpdm official who have exposed fraud in his village in Boyo is a living example of what we are calling for. Is what exactly Cameroon need. We black people cannot continue to facilitate the demise of our own. This is the path that a just Cameroon can walk on. By rejecting corruption, by rejecting the favors that comes along with it, and stand for the truth. We want to hail this man as a hero of Cameroon, a hero of the people, and to encourage the same. At PRAP, we have always insisted that our nation can only move forward when those within the system refuses to be complicit of the manipulation, corruption, terror of the regime in place. If more individuals follow this example, more individuals who have been called to change signatures follow these examples, as we have long encouraged, we will see the collapse of the corrupt regime and the birth of a fairer and more honest society that can take care of its own and create opportunities for the betterment of everybody, Francophone, Anglophone included. This is the message we carry forward, that real peace, real progress comes from within. Have a wonderful day. God bless you all.